All right, buckle up, because this episode is raw, brutally honest, and absolutely nothing like you've ever seen from Charlie Sheen before. If you thought the wild Hollywood stories or the headlines could tell you everything about the man, get ready to have your mind blown. Episode 2 of Aka Charlie Sheen lifts the veil completely, serving us a no-holds-barred look into Sheen's meteoric rise to fame, his haunting public collapse, and the bumpy, surprisingly heartfelt road towards sobriety and self-acceptance. We're diving into family confessions, myth-busting Hollywood tales, and jaw-dropping personal admissions. Stay with me, because by the end, you'll see Charlie Sheen in a light you never expected. So, the episode kicks off with a jolt of comedy and a bit of humility. Charlie reminisces about winning his first major award, and then, with that famous grin, admits it's also his only major award to this day. That self-deprecating charm, but it sets a tone for the whole episode, raw honesty without a hint of sugarcoating. Right from the jump, the docuseries challenges our assumptions, teasing the audience with a tongue-in-cheek reference to Dirty Dancing. Wait, was Charlie in that movie? Instantly, it's debunked. He wasn't. Mistakes and rumors from decades in the spotlight have a way of sticking, but episode 2 is all about setting the record straight. But that playful opener quickly pivots. The tone turns deeply confessional as the show leaps into the heart of Sheen's struggles. This is where it gets heavy and, honestly, riveting. The cameras don't shy away when talk turns to addiction, as Sheen is confronted point blank, did you know you were an addict? Were you aware of the consequences? Sheen admits, with striking candor, that he didn't dwell on the long-term repercussions. He describes a terrifying episode where he thought, for an entire hour, that he might die, a moment where the party had gone too far, and reality came crashing down. This brutally personal moment is interrupted, almost symbolically, by production. Suddenly, everybody is asked to clear the room. There's a hush, a sense that something even more sensitive and unrevealed is about to come out. It builds a suspense unlike anything we've seen so far. As the room empties, you know what's coming next isn't just gossip. It's going to be kind of truth that changes the narrative, both for Charlie and for those watching. And then, the show dives into the darkest accusations and rumors that have swirled around Sheen for years. With visible discomfort, Charlie faces one of the toughest allegations, the Corey Haim rumor. Was there truth to the speculation? This segment is handled with an intensity that feels like a gun is being held to his head. Charlie looks like a man forced to relive every painful accusation he's ever dealt with. His answers are nuanced and cautious, hinting at the intense pressure and the need for self-preservation during the height of these controversies. He admits to recanting statements out of necessity, highlighting just how confusing and dangerous things felt for everyone caught in the storm. Next, the conversation shifts to his scandalous love life and legal battles. Sheen opens up about the lawsuits charging him with exposing women to HIV and is asked, directly, whether he knowingly slept with partners without full disclosure. This is real, unflinching stuff. Charlie doesn't hide or deflect, but gives clear answers about what happened and what didn't. The series presses even further, discussing the role of money in these situations, and just how transactional some of his encounters became. There's a moment of honesty here that cuts through all the tabloid noise as Sheen reveals his understanding of the financial side of those chaotic years. But the twists just keep coming. The show doesn't shy away from one of Sheen's biggest previously unspoken secrets, his sexual experiences with men. For the first time in public, Charlie openly discusses his bisexuality. He's asked how it feels to finally share this side of his story, and there's a palpable sense of catharsis. He speaks openly about his sexual journey, how it began, and whether his experimentation with both men and women was tied to his drug use or something deeper. There's no judgment, no shame in his voice, just the relief of unburdening himself after a lifetime of secrets. At this point, the documentary pauses to reflect. Despite all the darkness, addiction, lawsuits, scandals, there's an undercurrent of survival and hope. The series skillfully pivots, leading Sheen to describe his path out of self-destruction. He credits his 8 years of sobriety not just to willpower, but to a kind of total surrender, admitting his flaws, embracing the pain, and accepting help from those around him. It's deeply moving seeing this notorious wild child reflecting on a lifetime of mistakes and growth, owning every bit of it. Family and friends weave in and out of the episode, sharing moments of fear, hope, and even humor. They corroborate Charlie's accounts and add their own perspective, making the whole story feel rich and multi-dimensional. It's not just about the fall. There's genuine redemption happening here. At one point, a loved one expresses hope that things are going well, giving everyone a chance to breathe out after all that tension. By the time credits roll, we've covered every major facet of the Sheen legend. From the innocent early stardom to brushes with death, headline-grabbing lawsuits, sexual identity, and finally, the reality of recovery. There's a sense of completeness and honesty that's rare in celebrity documentaries. It's an emotional roller coaster, but it lands on something surprisingly uplifting. No matter how far you fall, with truth and support, you can get back up. So to sum things up, aka Charlie Sheen Season 1 Episode 2 is a masterclass in personal storytelling. This episode doesn't just lay bare the facts of Charlie's wild ride. It lets us sit with the pain, the confusion, and at last, the hope of rebirth. For the first time, we get to see Charlie Sheen, not as a tabloid headline, but as a flawed, funny, and deeply human survivor. If this breakdown hit you as hard as it did me, let's talk about it in the comments. What surprised you the most about Charlie's confessions? If you loved this recap, smash that like button. Share it with a friend who needs to see the real story. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into your favorite shows. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with more